In this video, we will discuss which gimbal is the best one for Android smartphones. Hey, what's up guys, Julian from smartphonefilmmakingpro.com here, the ultimate online course about smartphone filmmaking. And today we'll finally answer the question, which gimbal is the best one for Android phones? If you have been following the channel along for a little longer, you know that I have tested and compared many different gimbals in the past. And just a little spoiler alert, many new very interesting gimbals will follow very soon. But we actually never have talked about gimbals, especially for Android phones. And this is exactly what we're gonna do today. So for this test, I have the Aochuan SMART XR gimbal, the Hohem Ice Steady X, and my trusty DJI OM4. And in this video, I won't go super in depth into the technical aspects of those gimbals because I do actually have a dedicated 10-minute video where I just cover all of these aspects like steadiness, payload, and the overall ease of use and so on. So if you have not seen this video, make sure to check this out as well. In this video, we will focus more on the apps and the possibilities that you get with each gimbal and the app using an Android smartphone. Most companies primarily focus on iOS users when developing their products, and oftentimes Android users are left behind, and today we'll check out how each of these gimbals work with Android smartphones. So first off, let's start with the cheapest of the bunch, and that is the Hohem Ice Steady X. This gimbal only costs about $70, and when you use this with an iPhone, I just find it to be very good and I can highly recommend it. So let's download the app for Android and let's see how it works. You can download the Hohem Pro app from the Play Store, and next up you should be able to just connect the gimbal to the phone. Sounds easy, right? Well, unfortunately, wrong. For my testing, I was using the OnePlus 9 Pro and I was just not able to connect the gimbal to my phone. I was trying it for like half an hour, but I was just unable to connect them with each other. The OnePlus was definitely recognizing the gimbal, but it was just not working with each other. With my iPhone back then, when I was connecting it for the first time, it was working within a minute. So the gimbal and the app is definitely not optimized for Android smartphones. And actually, when I was reading through the comments of the app in the Play Store, I found out that many people were having the same issues like I had. So let's consider you are able to connect your phone with your Hohem Ice Steady X. The next issue with this app is that it tops at 4K at 30 frames per second. And I could not find it, but I'm pretty sure that this will be only 8-bit, no matter the phone you have. So can you use this gimbal without the app? And yes, absolutely, you can do this. And this is what I would do anyway, because with all of these apps, you are always going to lose some quality compared to using proper video shooting apps. But actually, I cannot not recommend this at all for Android users because it does still work, and the cinematic 8K footage video that I uploaded to my channel was actually shot with the Hohem Ice Steady X and the OnePlus 9 Pro. So it actually does work very good, and I was actually just using the standard camera app of the OnePlus 9 Pro, and my phone was not connected to the gimbal via Bluetooth. And if you're especially looking for these automated gimbal movements that the Hohem app provides, well, I would maybe look somewhere to an iOS device. So next up, let's talk about the SMART XR gimbal from Aochuan, this bad boy right here. And this is a little more expensive than the Hohem one, but it also feels more solid. It is built better, and it even has a tiny little screen on the back of the gimbal and so on. So let's test this gimbal with an Android phone. And as you can see, it actually does work. So I was just going to the Play Store and I was downloading the AC Pro app that Aochuan provides for this gimbal. And I wanted to connect the gimbal to my phone. First off, within the app, well, it did not work. It was actually freezing the entire phone. So I tried to connect it within the Bluetooth setting of my phone, and it actually was connected. So I was going back into the AC app and thinking, well, now it has to work, but unfortunately nothing happened. In the app, it was still writing that it was searching for a gimbal, and actually nothing happened. I was also trying this for like half an hour, and I just could not get it to work. When I was going into the standard camera app of the OnePlus, I could actually use the buttons that the gimbal provides to start and stop a video, for example. this was working, and this also showed me that it was connected properly, but it was just definitely not working with the app. And again, here it's basically the same story like it was with the Hohem gimbal. You can still use this gimbal without the app, and you can change between all the modes and so on. And this is actually how I would use it anyway, because again, like I said before, the app from the gimbal company itself is also here limiting the resolution and also the frame rate, and the final image quality will be worse compared to shooting with a standard camera app, or even worse compared to a proper video shooting app like Filmmaking Pro, for example. So for me personally, it's not a huge deal that it did not work, but I still think it's horrible that it does not work at all. And before I will test the most expensive gimbal with the OnePlus, and this is of course the DJI OM4, I would like to talk very briefly about Smartphone Filmmaking Pro. We are the ultimate online course about smartphone filmmaking, and we currently have over 65 tutorials and well over 6 hours of super high valuable content that will step up your smartphone video quality to the next level. We cover all the technical aspects that you need to know, we cover some creative techniques to spice up your videos, and we also cover the entire editing part on a computer, but also directly on a smartphone. And it doesn't matter if you use Android or iOS. And additionally to all that, we have about 10 more videos covering different ways to make money filming with your smartphone. So just click the very first link below that like button to watch my totally free webinar where I share the top 5 secrets to shooting cinematic videos with your smartphone. Alright guys, so let's talk about the DJI OM4. And this is probably the most popular smartphone gimbal there is at the moment. And on paper, well, this just has to work perfect with Android phones as well. Well, at least on paper. When I was trying to connect the OM4 to my OnePlus, it took for bloody ages until I finally managed to connect them with each other. But after some time, I got them to connect. The app itself looks completely identical to the app on the iPhone, and also the features are exactly the same. And like I was expecting already, the app does not take full advantage, and actually does not take anywhere near full advantage of the phone's capabilities. The phone that I was using, the OnePlus 9 Pro, is actually capable of shooting 4K at up to 120 frames per second and 8K at up to 30 frames per second. Inside the DJI Mimo app, you could only record 4K at up to 30 frames per second, which actually is fine, don't get me wrong. But if you have a phone that can do much more, I also want to take advantage of this. So now let's talk about the conclusion, because as you've seen already, all of them are pretty disappointing, to be honest. And I personally, I never use these apps that the company provides, because even on iPhones, these apps never take full advantage of the full quality. And those, I would like to call them party tricks, like a 270-degree spin shot and a dolly zoom and so on, they are nice, but there are also workarounds so that you could access them with an Android phone. So can I recommend one gimbal specifically and especially for Android phones? Well, unfortunately, no. And does one gimbal not at all work with Android phones? Well, also no. So to be honest, for me personally, it's not a huge deal that it doesn't work perfectly. But for you, it might be a big deal. So in the end, everyone has to decide for him or for herself. And in case you have not seen the in-depth comparison of those 3 gimbals, where I go in far more detail of the technical aspects and the field test and so on, make sure to click the annotation right now. But that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got some value out of it. Let me know if you have used any other gimbals, if they work better with Android phones. I'm super curious to hear your thoughts. But that's it for now, and I'll see you guys in the next one.